Are you guys ready for this? They can hear you. They're back there. Let's hear it for John and Joan Cusack. Come on out, you guys. Come on out. I'm so excited about this panel. Woo! Yeah, please have a seat, you guys. That is a warm welcome. We know how to do that here in Portland, Oregon.
What's up, Portland?
Woo! Now, for those of you guys who know how I like to structure this, and some of you do, get yourselves queued up right away because I'm going to go to questions quickly. This panel is for you. So please, there you go. Thank you very much, you guys. I'm going to have a seat. This is so exciting. So freaking out. Okay. They pay me to be professional, and that was not professional. We're going to go ahead and start over here with you. Go ahead.
Welcome to Portland.
Hey.
Thank you.
So I have two questions, one for each of you. John, and I specifically have to say this because my friend's taping it. My friend Lacey from work would like to know what's your favorite movie that you guys have done together and why. And for Joan, Miss Sheila from Shameless. She's a very special and unique unicorn, and we love her. Where do you get the, where did you
Gumption?
where did you get the gumption to play her? Where does the inspiration to play her come from? Because she's just a hot mess, but we love her.
Well, I'll answer first since you ended with that.
Okay.
I just keep trying to think of dignity all the time. That's my go-to. I'm like, how can I have dignity in this moment? And that's really what drives her, is her own form of dignity.
She's amazing.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks for liking her.
Oh, we love her.
I think anytime I get to be with and work with any of my family or friends, it's great. So I think we had a lot of fun on Grosse Pointe Blank.
Oh, yeah.
We had a lot of fun on all of them.
Yeah. It's hard to get a movie made, and he keeps trying to get them made. So if you get a chance to be on one, you might as well enjoy it.
For sure.
Thank you.
Very nice. Let's go over here.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God. Wow.
I just picked that up.
That's amazing.
I was gonna make a wheeling water fountain, but it was too cumbersome for Comic-Con.
Wow. Well, I think you went all out enough. That's awesome.
I was wondering, since I haven't seen you guys at a Comic-Con or anything, what comic book villain or hero would you want to play if you could?
I'm trying to think. I like the Frank Miller stuff. It's super dark and kind of crazy. But there's another one I like. The Watchmen was cool. I liked Spider-Man when I was a kid, and Aquaman, those things. But as far as a villain, I don't know. I never got offered one.
Was there a Raggedy Ann? Any cartoon, comic book thing? I don't know. That sort of struck me.
There wasn't a villain in Raggedy Ann, though.
No, my whole childhood just got turned upside down right there with that visual.
Ooh, interesting.
See? Very good. Go ahead over here.
Hi, thank you so much for coming to Portland, Oregon. I wish I could take you on a hike because it would be so fun. I gotta slow down. I'm gonna talk. I love you guys so much, both individually and together. So the movies that you've done together are great. Movies done individual, fantastic. Any chance in the future of you guys working together on a project again?
Yeah, a friend of ours. It's kind of like a comic book. He wants to make a movie called Ass, and it's a town called Ass, and everyone has like large goiters and stuff. I think it's more near a nuclear power facility. But our friend is insane who wrote it, and we can't make sense of the script. But I think we want to shoot it.
That's awesome.
And we thought we'd shoot it in an alternate language and just put subtitles there.
I would watch that.
I think I would too, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're like,
I think that was
true,
an
though.
answer to the comic book one.
But I'm
it's-
with you. I'm tracking, which is remarkable. So
yeah.
I like the goiters. Go ahead over here.
Hi, this is a question for Joan. Out of all the people that you've worked with, I mean, you worked with Tom Hanks, Jack Black, Christopher Lloyd, Angelica Houston, etc. Who was your most favorite, and why, besides your brother?
That's good.
I'm trying to think. You know, they're all such different periods of your life, too, because it's like 3 months of your life that you work with someone in different years of your life, and you appreciate different things about some talented, interesting person you get to work with at that moment. And, you know, I think the most you appreciate is the people who were kind or generous, and like Kevin Kline was great. He was like a good guy, and he was talented and nice, and we would do a press thing, and he'd like, "You've got to order caviar. Always order caviar." I was like, "Wow, okay." I didn't even know if I liked caviar, but I was like, "All right, that's what you do." So I don't know, but of course, always great to work with this guy.
She has to say that.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's great. Over here, please.
Hi.
Hi.
So The Sure Thing is like drop dead funny. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
It was made like triple your age ago.
My dad.
I'm so shocked.
Well, what's gonna shock you more is that my dad made me watch it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It was kind of, what did you do wrong? Like, it was punishment, right?
Right. I loved it though. It was great.
Well, sometimes punishment can be good.
Yeah. So there's so much comedy in that movie. What was your favorite thing to film?
Well, I was so young, you know, I was like 16 or 17 when I made that, so I was just really lucky because the director, Rob Reiner, is a really like great human being. So I was, you know, lucky when I was young. I had good people to look after me and show me the ropes, and he was like a very, very good guy. And I met Tim Robbins on that film and became friends with Tim.
Feelings.
Yeah. I don't remember. Yeah, that's right.
Show tunes.
Yeah, and then so it was sort of like it was a big whirlwind, but there were good people making the movie, so they really looked after you. So that was just a fun time.
Thank you.
How do you think Hollywood's changed? I'm just curious. I mean, given your career and everything, what do you see today that's different from when you guys got started in the business?
Well, it used to be more like, do you know when they used to say Pennsylvania was better when the mob ran it? Just stay with me.
Okay, I'm following. Did you see me do the lean in? I was like, tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Well, there used to be studio guys, and they, you know, if they liked you or they wanted you, they that was their thing. So they made their big action movies, but they would also give slots to people to make films, and that space has largely gone to TV now. But so there used to be those, and now it's just so corporate that it doesn't seem like there's not as much loyalty. Like you could still sort of, it was a little bit of the Wild West, you know, back in the 80s and 90s where you could still sort of sneak a film into like the theaters, but now everything gets so kind of processed by marketing and all that stuff. So I do remember a time when it was a little bit more, I guess you could say, artist friendly.
Same assessment.
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely feel that. I feel like it seems like it's probably always been the same in some way. It just keeps changing the venue. Now it seems like there's more opportunity in TV, and that's kind of cool. It's, you know, you can tell longer stories, and I think as an actor you get to work with people over and over again, which is kind of nice too. But it's probably the same in a lot of ways too. Like there's always been, you know, huge celebrity, and there's always been this person's the hit person in marketing, and then crazy people and people taking advantage and the horrible diseases that people get, and then there, you know, so there's probably a lot of the same. It's like
You're actually right. I'm thinking back through the history of cinema. I'm like, yep, damn, she's right on it. All right, go ahead. We'll go over here.
Hi, I'm Tamara from Olympia, Washington. And
All right.
Thank you. And I just wanted to say hello to you both. I appreciate your longevity in the careers that you had. I would like to speak to you, John, on your portrayal of Brian Wilson in Love
right
and
on.
Mercy.
So good.
It was, I watched it back in June. It was a very profound time in my life as my teenage daughter was also in a psychiatric hospital where she had spent many, many months with voices. And your portrayal was so on target with people who have such serious mental illness. I don't have a question for you per se. I have to say I applaud your effort and how deep you reached, because not enough actors go out there and reach for those roles. And it makes a profound statement. And
Well,
applaud to Brian Wilson as well for his story.
I think one of the reasons the Wilsons wanted to make the film, Brian and Linda, was to sort of take the stigma off of people who have those issues, you know, because a lot of times they're the most extraordinary people, and the line between, you know, genius or even just perception and sometimes not knowing, you know, where reality is very tenuous at times for people. But, you know, in reality, he was really abused by his doctor and sort of shunned by people because he had a mental health issue. And you wouldn't judge anybody if, you know, they got Crohn's disease or if they had a broken leg. So I think that was one of the reasons he wanted to make the film and have the film made, is to really put that out. So I was really super interested in doing people doing it right that way.
You did.
But he's also like an incredible person to be around. So, you know,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question for John. Anyway, I'm a huge fan of the movie Being John Malkovich. Anyway, do you have any fun stories from that set?
So many.
Yeah, I was saying, how can you not?
Yeah, I was, the best part of that, I think, for me was, you know, there was a chimp in the movie. Remember, we had a monkey there?
I remember.
So what I did was, I used to try to get my food for lunch early and just eat it really quick. And then I had monkey time in my little trailer. And I just had the monkey come over, and he would just run up and roll his butt and put his butt in my face, and I'd throw him against the wall, and that would make him really happy, and he'd run up. And so I got my workout just like throwing a monkey in the trailer. And I was like, this is about as good as it gets. It was just monkey time.
You still really like monkeys.
I really do.
Yeah.
Anytime you can be around a monkey, you should do it.
I will remember that.
And just take any opportunity. If it comes up on the street, meet him in Starbucks, just take a minute, hang out. It's gonna make your day a lot better. That was
Everything
one.
about that's going to go well, too, when I'm on the street going, well, John says I have to touch your monkey. Let's go over here.
Hi, nice to say hello to you guys. Thanks
Hello.
so much for being such a great team. My question is for John. We're going to go back to the 80s for a minute, so I'm glad you're sitting down. If you were to make a mixtape today, what 3 songs or bands would be on the mixtape?
All right, first of all, that's 2000.
Oh, sorry.
The mixtape was 2000.
Sorry.
But I didn't answer your question. What 3 songs would I put on it?
Or bands.
Well, it depends on who you're making the mixtape for and what you want. I think if you want to get people to get roused out of their apathy, you put on some Sex Pistols, The Clash, The Ramones, right?
Yeah.
Some Solomon Burke, Marvin Gaye. Now you're getting into the seduction romance part.
Sorry.
Again, it's hard
A
to
different
answer.
type of
I didn't know
apathy.
this would be our first date, so, calm down there, John.
There you go.
Thank you.
Nice cosplay.
Thanks. So, Joan, I would just like to tell you that, like, my entire family, except one person, because she doesn't like Shameless, but everyone in my family loves you so much. You're such like, Sheila is such an amazing character, and you're an amazing actress.
Oh,
and
thank you.
You're welcome.
That's so nice.
So, I have a question. I was wondering who is your favorite person to, like, work with on the set of Shameless?
Let's see. Everybody's so great there, don't you think? They all do, I think, a really good job and professional. And it's a fun show to do just because it's fast, and so everyone has to know their lines, and you can't take your time with stuff. You just got to get in there and work. And it was fascinating, because I'd never done a show like that before, show over time like that. So it was really fun to work, and everyone's great. So yeah, I mean, the younger kids, it's been so interesting to see them get older, and how do they handle things, and thinking about them and helping them.
Thank you.
Let's go over here.
Hi, John and Joan. My question is, you've acted in a lot of variety of genres of film, comedy, romance, action. Do you have a favorite genre that you like to do?
It's always the best director of any genre, don't you think?
Yeah, I think if you can do a good version of any of them, they're all super fun and good to do. So
And similar in a weird way. It's
Yeah.
just flipping something.
Yeah, so I don't mind anything. Like, I think the good thing is I've been lucky enough to do all sorts of things. So it's fun to go into like the horror space. And sometimes, it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But the things that make a movie work out are so complicated, because you got to the script has to get right, then you have to shoot a real good film, but then you have to protect the cut. And any one of those things goes wrong, and the movie sucks. So, but when you do any of those genres right, or you can sort of see it through, it's always, they're all fun to do. It's like just entering a different world. Fun.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, question for John. Identity is one of my favorite movies of yours.
Oh, thank you.
What was your favorite part of that movie to film?
That was a cool thing. The director was a really good guy, Jimmy Mangold, and very professional and cool, and it was a really good cast, so it was just 10 of us. And it all took place really on a sound stage, so it was fun because it was raining all the time, and it was all built on a set. So no matter, you just wake up in the morning and you didn't even need coffee, because as soon as they yelled, roll the cameras, you're going to get doused by ice water. So you just wake up, and then, but it's just fun to work with a small cast, with Ray Liotta and John McGinley and Amanda Peet and a lot of cool actors. John Hawke, that was before he had started doing a lot of things, and a lot of great actors. So we just had a fun time. It was a very good shoot.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, thanks for being here, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
This is great.
Yeah.
This question is for both of you. Back in the day, what was it like to work with directors John Hughes and Cameron Crowe?
Well, John Hughes, we were both I was
So young.
I was a sophomore in high school, and I got a part, and it was a week and a half. So I don't really remember it that much. I mean, I remember it was like amazing to do a movie.
Yeah,
And
totally.
he was a very cool guy.
Yeah.
Like, I liked him a lot. He would just kind of lay on the floor smoking Carltons, watch you. But it was he was really into it and had a point of view, and it was just all so new. But that's what I remember about John.
I also remember, like he said afterwards, I remember seeing it, and he said, well, what did you think? I was like, well, I really liked it, and then I said something critical. Like, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, I wasn't sure if she would talk that way. And then he's like, oh, a critic. Well, I'm like, what am I saying? Why did I say that to him? What am I talking about? Like, why did I do that? And I couldn't believe it. But he made you feel free. He made you feel like you could say that. He was like, the high school point of view was valid for sure.
Yeah, real cool guy. And Cameron was a great guy. We had a great time on working on that too. And that was a much more intense sort of relationship because that was, you know, he and I, and so that was a great, intense relationship. So I have lots of great memories of Cameron.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi guys, I just wanted to tell you I've loved you since 16 Candles, and that costume, oh my God.
Did you see her?
Yeah, that was fantastic. And I just wanted to say In and Out was my favorite of yours, Joan. And John, I was at my 30th class reunion, and one of my classmates was handing out pens, and I immediately started looking for a poster to hide the body. So thank you for that. And
Was anyone killed?
No,
at that one?
not that I'm aware of.
Good.
Maybe after we went to the bar. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you for all your work, and I loved you guys all this time. So thanks.
Thank you so much.
So nice.
I just want to thank you guys for being here. I love you both so much. My question is actually for John. I recently read that Better Off Dead was your least favorite movie that you ever made, which is my favorite movie. I wanted to know if that was true, and if so, could you elaborate on why that's your least favorite movie?
It's not really true, but it keeps getting reprinted, and then everyone keeps saying it. But I think what happens is, like, when I had done it, I knew it was a sort. Again, I was like 12 years old when I made it, right? So it was like an intense couple months, and you're starting out. So I'd done like, I think The Sure Thing, a couple, 16 Candles, one other thing. So I was like, all right, it's a surreal black comedy, right? So it was definitely different than anything I'd read before. And so I had a good time shooting it and stuff, but I think when I saw the movie, like, I thought the score would be a little bit more subversive. Like, I didn't think it would be like a traditional sort of strings score. But any element of that, like when you have an idea in your mind, you're always disappointed, like when you're done with something and you think, oh, I could have done it better, or I sucked in that, or whatever it is. But then it kept sort of getting reprinted that I hated it and hated it and hated it. But I just never really thought about it as much. But I do remember being disappointed with the score a little bit, and, you know, not liking myself in it or thinking I screwed it up when I was a kid. But then it just kept getting reprinted that I hate it or something. But I'm happy that people like it.
Because I love Lane Myers.
Yeah,
so.
I don't have any deep-seated antagonism towards it at all.
Thank you.
And so I feel bad for the director and everybody that gets reproduced all the time. But
So you're here to say it's not true.
it's not true.
It's a new era.
You just told a lot of people, so that's good. That's good. Right over here.
All right. Hi, I'm Stevie. I have a question for John. My mom, I don't know if she wanted to listen to me whine, but she recently watched 1408 without me. I was curious, what's your favorite ending on that? Is it the original, or is it the alternate where the cassette tape comes out and you hear your daughter's voice again? That one's my favorite.
But that was the original. That was the ending.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that one was the alternate.
No, that was the original ending, and
okay.
then they put more endings on the DVD so they could sell more DVDs.
Well, which one did you like better?
Well, I was like, what the fuck are we doing making 3 endings?
Yes.
I was like, you fuckers, like, whatever money we get, we squeeze more money out of this thing. I don't know. I thought, but I did think they were kind of, a couple of them were cool ideas. But I like the one with I like what we shot.
Yeah, awesome.
I like the one with the cassette and you hear her voice. But I think we shot, I don't even know how many they shot. It was a blur, but I know there's one where I was like I was at a funeral and I came back as a ghost. I was like, this isn't gonna work. But I was like, it'll be cool to get all fucked up.
That is pretty badass. Thank you.
So that'd be fun.
Let's take it over here.
Hello, it's great to see you here.
Thanks for having us.
So, High Fidelity is easily in my all-time top 5 movies.
Thank you.
Well put.
My question for both of you is, you know, for those of us who love the movie, just nostalgia has made it better and better. looking back on it now, as performers and creators of it, how does it stand up for you?
Well, if I look back on it, it sort of goes to the question about like, how do you think Hollywood has changed or the business has changed? And when I made that film, there's a guy named Joe Roth, and he used to run Disney, and he ran 20th Century Fox, and he's a really good guy. He makes a lot of movies as a producer, but he used to be sort of one of the studio heads. So he would make a slate of movies, and he would make his Armageddon and Independence Day, or the blockbustery type movies. I made one for him called Con Air, right? And so he would make these big movies to satisfy the stockholders, but then he had 6 or 7 sort of slots, and he gave me the money to make High Fidelity and Grosse Point Blank. He gave Spike Lee the money to make Summer of Sam. He gave Wes Anderson the money to make Rushmore. So all these films were like studio films with no interference, like artist friendly, and we were able to make something now that I could never make those movies in the studio today. You could never go to 20th Century Fox and have a lead character look to the camera and say, I am an asshole because I skipped money. My girlfriend needed an abortion, and I had to borrow money, and I never paid it. Like all these incredibly human, fucked up things that are in the book, right? And he didn't care. He was like, this is my studio. I'm making money. I get to make some movies, and those days it seems are gone. So I'm just so appreciative to. If I look back at any of the good films that I've made, I always think, well, I wouldn't have happened without Joe Roth, who backed me, really. So I don't know. I guess maybe you could make that on cable, but then you'd have to. Even just trying to get all the rights to the music, I don't know I don't know how you could do it these days. That's right. But I love that movie, and I love the book, so I'm happy that people love it.
Thank you.
Hi, so my question is for Joan. I think one of the funniest movies ever made is School of Rock. And in that movie, in my opinion, one of the funniest scenes is when you and Jack Black are at the bar and Stevie Nicks comes on the jukebox and your character isn't really able to stop herself from jamming out to it. So I just wanted to know, was that character dimension, did it have any basis in your real life?
Actually, well, it's kind of cool because I think if High Fidelity hadn't happened, Jack Black wouldn't have had that career that he had, because that was really the first movie he kind of popped in, too, interestingly. And it was so great to be part of that movie and see him be able to, carry it on, because he had that charm. You could just feel it in High Fidelity, I felt like. And when we were filming that scene, they were talking about a Stevie Nicks song, and I was like, oh, we should do the Edge. I loved that song, so I helped pick that song, so I was so proud of that. And then, of course, it's easier to have fun with it if you really connect to it. So, he was great, and it's in the best parts, like when you can get an opportunity like High Fidelity or work on something like that, when people are, see and are real interesting. It's so fun, and it translates. I think people feel that. So,
thank you.
Thanks for appreciating it.
Okay. Hi. I'm huge fans of both of yours. Thank you.
Who are you?
I'm a Mormon missionary, just because I love the musical.
Awesome.
Okay.
I was trying to think. I was like, ice cream man, bicycle helmet.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew it was something, but I couldn't figure out
He would
what.
like to talk to you right
See
now.
there, yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm huge fans of both of yours. I've even seen the lesser-known movies like Natty Gann and Arlington Road. Yeah, and out of all those movies, there's only been a few that you've done together, and I'm always wondering, why isn't John in this one, or why isn't Joan in this one? Why don't you do more brother and sister projects? Is what I'm wondering.
you can't really like you have to just sort of con people into getting money, and then I don't know how it works, but it's not like we're turning them down. But we got a couple ideas, right? Yeah, a couple ones we'll try to do.
The town called Ass. That's our big next idea in a different language.
Yeah, that's on the
That's
docket.
probably one of the reasons why there aren't that many more.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I smell a Kickstarter. Go ahead.
Kickstarter.
Hi. So you two have been in some of my most favorite movies of all time, so it's a real pleasure to see you up here.
Thank you.
I got to say, John, your character in High Fidelity, that's me, organizing my vinyl like crazy. And Joan, a bunch of years ago, I worked on a movie with you called Mars Needs Moms.
Oh.
And what was your experience like working in a motion capture film?
Well, my biggest experience of that was I finished doing that movie and I didn't realize while I was doing it that it was the grandson of H.G. Wells.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I finished working on that and I didn't know the director was the grandson of H.G. Wells the entire time.
Yeah.
I could have asked him all kinds of interesting questions that never even crossed my mind because I had no idea. So that was like the thing that struck me the most.
You should call him up.
I should.
Ask him a lot of questions.
I'm like, by the way, wow. But it's a weird little kind of format because you're kind of like, what is happening that we're like wearing these weird suits? It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's by far the weirdest form. Have you done that?
No.
It is so weird.
Yeah, well, one of my jobs was during the pre-cap stage was I would walk around and check your balls.
Have you guys seen those pictures? You have these balls all over you. It's like from that Woody Allen movie where he has that suit thing, and you're walking around and you're talking like you're a normal person. It's so bizarre, and then it's just so bizarre.
Yeah. It was fun though.
It was fun.
I didn't think, given what we were discussing, you were going to outquote us up here on stage, but you did, as the person who checked her balls. Bring it over here.
Hi. My question's for Joan. When it's about the Toy Story films. Which one was your favorite, both in filming and seeing it up on the big screen, and why?
Well, it was so bizarre to see because I hadn't seen Toy Story before I had seen Toy Story 2. So I didn't really know what they looked like that much. And it was, well, wait a minute, maybe I did see it. I'm trying to see, I know that I was so shocked at the way it looked when I saw it at the screening, because it was such dense, technical, different kind of animation. And I don't know how much different the first one was. But obviously that one for sure, because it was sort of the Jessie story, and I love that she wasn't a princess. She didn't have a princess dress. It was just so great. And I love that she wasn't the damsel in distress, and it was just so good. And it was such a cool experience.
Yeah.
So thanks for appreciating those. It's fun to be a part of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
I love the theme on the princess. I raised my daughter as the self-sufficient princess, and she's 7, and she goes, "It means to take care of yourself." So I applaud what you're saying there.
That's
Let's go over here.
Hello, I have a question for each of you. Joan, you make villainous characters likable, so I was wondering if you chose scripts that did that, or did you interpret it that way? And then John, where's Pushing 10 as far as movies that you like?
I had a good time on that one. It was because I got to meet and become friends with Billy Bob, who I really like a lot, and got to work with Kate Blanchett and Angelina Jolie. It was fun. It was a good time. So we were hanging in Toronto. Remember, it was a long shoot, and it was kind of a crazy shoot, but I really loved, becoming friends with Billy Bob. So I had a great time.
And I think, I don't know, people probably say this, but I think you always have to find something nice in your character that you really like, even if it's a villain. So I think probably that's what I did. It's not a very good answer.
Thank you.
Debbie Jelinski comes to mind. So likable. Go ahead.
Hi. Oh, it's loud. Sorry. I really like one of your films that both of you did that's kind of random. I really like Martian Child. When I was 16, I saw it dozens of times, and I did like all these inside joke things, like with the Lucky Charms, like I eat Lucky Charms. And anyway, but yeah, so I wondered what kind of memories you had from doing that movie.
I liked it. It was one of those things where it was a hard process trying to get the film right and sort of look after it and protect it and stuff. But it was, its heart was in the right place, and I remembered having a good time in Vancouver. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
That was really fun.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hello, welcome to the Rose City. It's a pleasure to have you here.
The Roast City?
Rose, the city of roses.
Oh, I was like, coffee roast.
I don't know, we do have a lot of coffee here, a lot of barbecue.
Why is it the Rose City?
Right, yeah.
What? It's just because it's got a lot of roses?
We have a rose garden here that goes way back. If you're into flowers, you can just go hang out. It's just been a part of it. Like, I'm sure there's more history to it than that. I think I did a pretty good job of pretending like I knew what I was talking about.
You did.
Thank you. We have a rose garden was my official answer.
Only 90s kids remember the original Rose Garden before it was the Moda Center.
That's right. That's right. And because I'm on TV, I'm a TV news anchor, we have to call it Moda Center, and I'm constantly like, All right. Your question, I apologize.
You wake up on a deserted island, this is for both of you, and there's a crate every day, and it's delivering a breakfast food. What is that breakfast food?
Mango!
Wow, that was awesome.
I just knew the answer before you had to.
Just straight up mangoes, it's not on anything?
I've been very into mangoes lately. I mean, not that I know how to get them or order them. Whenever I can
I
get
think
a hold
I'd
of
take
them.
a cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon
A
roll?
really good cinnamon roll with
Wow.
like a lot of that white stuff on top.
No, because then you can make mango ice cream out of it, or just eat the mango.
I think mango is actually a better choice. It's
So you're
healthy.
saying there's like I'm in a deathly situation, like,
Only mangoes? Just mangoes every day?
so there won't be like a nice little kitchenette with a freezer where I could chop it up, or is it
You just have the crate to work with. You're gonna have to set stuff up on the crate.
You're gonna have to like MacGyver your way through it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, it's nice that we got the crate.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
We get breakfast.
Thank you.
I love that.
That's.
You can build a raft over time.
I'm
Yes.
feeling
You
this
can
like
totally
a penal colony or something, right? Like the Botany Bay, just where they put all the Irish that need to be kicked out of civilian societies, just put us on the beach and drop us crates of mango.
And then you pick mango. You
Yeah.
do realize that she's going to out-paddle you to freedom because she's going to have the energy to do so with all the cinnamon rolls.
No, she's not. She's going to have a sugar crash. And I
That's
am
so
going to be
true.
sailing.
So true.
I love it. I love it. All right, over here.
Thank you for coming to Portland. You've both made so many great relationship movies. Do you have any relationship advice?
This will be good.
I plead the fifth.
I think it's kind of like the
She does.
playlist thing. You got to figure out what relationship are you talking about?
True.
Is it with your mother? Or your father?
No, like a
or your
partner.
sibling? Or a girlfriend? Or a boyfriend? Depends.
Thank you.
That was genius. Go ahead.
How's it going, guys?
Hi.
My name is Ethan Archer. I am an aspiring actor. And I am told constantly that it's who you know.
Who do you know?
I would love to buy you guys a cup of coffee. And I just so happen to work at Starbucks, so I can get a great discount.
As all aspiring actors probably need when they're getting started, right? The great discount.
Always.
Yeah, you might want to lose the stentorian tone if you get into it. Get into it, just film, just
modulate
it down a little bit.
I'll start working on that.
That's better, right? Already.
Thank you very much.
No.
Oh, no. Back, no. Too much. Too much.
Too much. But that's a really good stentorian voice. Don't you like that I use the word stentorian? I don't even know what it means.
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea.
Yeah, I think it means like official.
Yes.
I don't know what it
Well, it does now.
Yep.
I'm going to walk
That's what
away
it was
knowing that I
meant to-
have a stentorian voice today. Thanks, guys.
Over here.
Hi, you know, I originally just kind of jumped in line to get as close as possible for a picture, but I've been watching you guys since I was a kid. Better Off Dead, One Crazy Summer, one of my favorites. Toys, amazing. Just thank you. Thank you for both.
Thank you.
Aw, so nice.
Hi, John, Joan, I'm Vic.
Hello.
I first wanted to say that Grosse Point Blank, you guys were both awesome. I love the way you and the Jet just beat the hell out of each other in that film. You look amazing with your technique, by the way.
Thank you.
But my actual question is, I'm racking my brain. I don't remember ever seeing either of you in like a sci-fi film. I mean, I know you did 2012, which is kind of sci-fi, but you guys have never been like the captain of a starship or anything, and I would love to see that. Is that a genre you guys just kind of like bypass, or is it something you just
Again,
don't get sent?
it's not. I think everyone has this assumption that like, oh, you get to pick and choose what you want to do. It's like chaos, and you're just trying to find something good to do, and then if somebody offered us something great, we'd do it. Or if you could, but if you create it yourself, you have to. You know, it could be 2, 3 years, 10 years to get a project made of just work all the time. So,
What do you
we
think
never
would be
got
a good sci-fi
Yeah, what kind
director?
of
What do you think would be good?
Like, you know, like
Yeah.
yeah, like Star Trek, Star Wars. Like even if you know, like I said, just like
No, ass in space.
Ass in
Ass
space.
in space.
I would pay $11 to see that. I really
Wouldn't
would.
you? Wouldn't you? I think so. But we never got. I never got offered a sci-fi movie. Did you?
No.
No.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, we're almost out of time in this room. We'll see how many more we can squeeze in. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, that's loud. My question's for both of you. Who have you not worked with in Hollywood that you would still like to?
There's so many people, but Hollywood doesn't really exist because that's just a place where the edifices are, and then the people in the studios are getting money from like the Chinese. So it doesn't really exist anymore, but it sort of does. But they live all over. But there's directors and actors that I think, oh, that would be great to work with him, you know? There's so many good ones.
There are. And then there's so many that have died that would have been fun to work with.
Who that's
Like
passed
Gilda
away would you like to work with?
Radner, or, I was thinking of her.
Like
with
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, she passed away.
There's so many. John Cassavetes, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Over here for our last question.
Hi, my name is Greg Ellis. I'm from Forest Grove. And I liked all you guys' movies that I've seen. Star Wars would be the best science film I'd like to see. But I was just wondering, has there ever been a personality trait that you guys did that you hear about actors kind of having problems sometimes? That maybe one stuck with you or something, or you know, like a face. You know, you put on your face, go on to do the show. Did anything ever stick with you guys or anything that may cause problems or something?
I think if you get probably if you get afraid of people, that you're afraid you can't trust them, and I think that happens in Hollywood sometimes because people, they don't always tell you the truth. They're not always real.
Like if you say, what time is it? And it's like 11 o'clock, they may lie. You're like, why did you lie about that? It's just 11 o'clock.
Like, why?
No,
Why
it's
did
10
you
o'clock.
have to do that?
It's 10 o'clock.
Why?
Why? I don't know.
How does that help you? It's a
It's
different
very
time.
hard to figure out.
Yeah, so you have to trust people.
All right, I'm going to take advantage of this moment to have a seat in between you and take a selfie.
Awesome.
Do it. Squeeze in. Who gets to say they get to do this? All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys, give it up for John and Joan Cusack!